We did it. We did it. And I pressed record and I raided. And what else was I supposed to do? I have to switch bots. I didn't switch bots, Alyssa.
Why you no switch bots?
Because I didn't read the list that I made. Hello, everybody.
All the time. Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the .NET and the Wild show with us, Women of .NET today. Takeover. It was Women of .NET last week as well. I need to fix Alyssa's like ginormousness next to me. There we go. There we go.
She always says my head is huge.
It's just your camera.
I think it might actually be.
I don't know. It's not. It's just, you know, stuff happening that, you know, it's nothing to do with you. So there's a few things I forgot to do. I forgot to set up featured chat as well. That wasn't on my list. Why wasn't that on my list, Alyssa?
What does that even mean? Set up feature chat? I'm taking a screenshot the best way I know how on my PC.
Oh, yeah, you do that.
Twitter faces! Listen, I know the chat's probably going to be upset about that, but...
Chat's well used to craziness, so it's all fine. Now, I think I have a feature chat up and running. Oh, we got first-time chatters. Yay! Look at all of this, everybody. Maybe make a script. I have a script. Look, there's lists of things to do, Nick.
Do you think maybe he meant more of like an automated
why
script?
We were doing this raid. Well, this is my new show, but it's on this channel, the VMware Tanzu channel. And like the lovely Alyssa was coming here, and I couldn't leave Alyssa here on her own, so that's it. We got Luce. I will make a mental note to ask lots of questions in 2 weeks to make sure you've done things. Oh, a PowerShell script. I don't know if that would work. Would that work? A PowerShell script to run everything? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if I can get featured chat working while Alyssa's busy, you know, doing stuff like...
with the Twitters.
You know, I've logged in on the wrong place to featured chat. And I've got... Oh my God, wait. I've got too many browsers. I'm lost in Windows. Here we go. This is the one I want to do featured chat on. There we go. So featured chat, folks, is going to allow me to bring your questions up on screen. So let me minimize this. Ta-da! And there we go. Okay, I can see all of your chats. Let's just test that with Copperbeardy's one. Let's see. Is that going to show? Yay! It's working. Hurrah, hurrah. That was a little bit slow. But we're there. And now I need to make sure I'm watching chat. CMJ Chris Jones, welcome. If you get Brett Miller on the case, he'll definitely be able to make a PowerShell. Brett Miller is an awesome PowerShell aficionado. He lost his doggy today, though. So I'm sending Brett big hearts. So... Alyssa, have you posted that Twitter link yet?
Did you want me to put it in the chat?
Why is Alyssa muted? Alyssa, why have you no sound?
I don't know.
Why has Alyssa not got sound? What have I pressed?
Hello?
What have I pressed? I haven't.
The ghost of Alyssa.
Oh.
Hello? I don't know. Did I do it?
You can hear. Why can't I not hear Alyssa then? Why has Alyssa... Alyssa, you're blocking me. You're talking to everyone else but me, aren't you? Oh, look, voice meter's disappeared. Where's voice?
On purpose.
Oh, no. Yeah, voice meter had disappeared. Okay, so I'm hopefully going to have everything back. Alyssa?
This is me
yes.
talking to you.
Hurrah.
And it works.
Okay. It's all good. I'm just going to chill down.
Breathe. And I thought I was stressed out, you know, because I'm on a PC and I don't know how to do anything. So I'm like, she wants me to get her a Twitter link, you know, and you're over here like doing 20,000 things. I'm impressed. This is why I do StreamYard. Like I cannot, the OBS game is too hot for me.
Well, we don't have StreamYard, so we can't have that. But what I am going to do is pop out this chat. So I have less things. So I'm looking at the right camera and I'm not worried about lip syncing because I'm like, your face isn't matching up because I'm looking at the wrong view of you. So yeah, we don't have We don't have StreamYard, so we're doing it this way, which is fine. But do you ever get those days where everything is just too much? It's just like, you just get out of bed the wrong side. I've had one of those days today. So, oh, yay.
If you have too many of those days in a row, they make medication for that.
I've not had too many of those yet.
That's good.
I rarely have these. Today just happens to be a day where I am having one.
I was talking to a group of GDEs, they're Google developer experts, and we were in like a little breakout room. It was like last week. And one of my good friends, he's an older dev, and I was just like asking for advice. I was like, listen, I really feel like I would do so much better in my career if I could take, you know, like there's some weeks where I'm just like on this mountaintop of like, I have 1,200 things to do and I'm like physically ill because I'm working so hard. And then there's other weeks where I'm just like bored to death. And you know what he said to me as his advice? He said, never have a hyperactive person as your manager. And I said, did you just tell me not to get into management because I'm hyperactive? And he goes, yeah. I was like, are you telling me that because I can't manage my own projects, I should not manage others' projects? And he was like, yeah.
Oh, well, you might be really super awesome at other people's stuff, because sometimes I think it's easier to... Stuff. Yeah, well, I think it's easier to manage other people's problems because it's slightly removed from you. And when your own problems get too much, it's too close to home and it can be overwhelming. And sometimes helping other people manage everything can actually be cathartic and not stress you out and make you like, nah. But otherwise it can make it worse, because if it's your own thing, you don't care if it blows up in your face, but if it's someone else and someone else is depending on it, then there can be more pressure. So
detachment can be good at times for making decisions and organizing. Copper Beardy said that medication does not help. Wow. You maybe you're not on the good stuff.
Yeah, I guess there's different types of medication, and yeah, it can be hard. We've got so many first-time chatters to the VMware Tanzu channel. Yay!
Hi!
Medication works great for MongoDB, does it, Luce? That's how I read that. Okay, I see. For sharing bits of your screen and stuff. It's like babysitting. You always can give it back. Oh, when you manage other people's stuff, you can like, yeah, I can't manage your crap anymore, and hand it back. Hello, Asius, as well.
So Luce, and this is just an invitation to anybody who wants to talk. I've had ADHD my entire life, and it was hilarious because we thought that maybe I just had adult ADHD, but we found a first grade report card where I had all A's, and then it said needs to work on attentiveness, like in every class. And it was, my God. And my husband was like, so this isn't a new thing. I was like, apparently it's not a new thing. So no, Luce, if you're just now starting medication, I have gone through probably every medication there is, especially recently because I was trying to switch it up to help with attentiveness and ADHD. I have extreme hyperactiveness, so like it's not just the attention part, but like there's times where it was almost like I'm manic with energy. So DM me on Twitter if you ever have personal questions about like what's worked for me, what hasn't, what I've tried, because there really is help out there, and it really is, it's not unovercomable. That's not even a word. And sometimes it's not medication that you need to do to get things straight and working, because I found that like when I am getting the right amount of sleep, when I am getting, like drinking like crazy amounts of water, for some reason that helps me like just stay more equalized throughout the day. So I don't know, just DM me if you ever have questions or you're trying something new and you want to see if I've tried it. This is open to anybody, not just Luce, because I have battled with the ADHD, trying to be a dev, trying to be a mom, trying to be just a normal person and not look like a spastic maniac. So I'm there with you. So
well, thank you so much for that, Alyssa. I think that's a really kind and generous offer. I think there's probably more sufferers out there than we think. like Silicon Orchid, he's wondered if he has it, you know, just different things. And other people I've spoken to, some people have asked me if I am, because of the amount of coffee I drink to make me feel sort of level, like self-medicating. I don't know. I don't think I've sort of recently, actually, on the subject of ADHD, there's a former Ms. Liverpool has recently come out about having like autism and ADHD, and she's got adult autism. So I know they're sort of not, well, there might be some relations, but they're definitely not the same thing. But it was interesting how these sort of discussions are becoming much more in the forefront, talking about adult autism, talking about adult ADHD, because previously, I think this is a great improvement, because previously people haven't wanted to speak about mental health. And she's speaking out about that, and her 3 children are all on the spectrum of some sort, and she's just, she comes across as like a fully functional person, she says, but she has adult autism. And it's really interesting that you know, people are just being so much more open about it. So I appreciate you being open and about that.
I love it.
So yeah, so now I have got you down on the Tanzu developer site, Alyssa, as we're going to talk about coming to .NET, because you're actually really a JS girl, aren't you? Because your show is JS Girl in a .NET world. And how's that going for you?
So it's been, there was a lot of naysayers, I've got to say. There's a lot of tension between our communities. I don't know if you know this. Well, especially, maybe it only goes in one direction, because I come from the JavaScript world, and a lot of my JavaScript friends said, what are you doing with your life? Like, really? Yeah, there was a lot of scratching of heads, and like, you know, my husband, he's a JavaScript developer, and he hisses at me occasionally when I talk about
oh my god, that's things. Extreme.
Yes, he or he'll send me, you know, gifs of like, you know, just ridiculous memes of like, why am I doing this with my life? And that kind of sums up just the vibe from the JavaScript community going into the .NET world. I don't know why that is. I don't know. I think it might be because most of my friends have background in .NET, and everyone is like, you're kind of doing it backwards. They're like, everyone for some reason started in some sort of .NET space, and then if they moved to JavaScript, that was their story. And for me, like when I was only ever introduced to web dev, and I only ever did, you know, JavaScript and mainly Angular. And so being a front-end person, I have a lot of .NET people around me that do a lot of cool things. And I have just more and more been like, I really want to get into that. So I'm using the show as an excuse to just learn any and all of it. And it's been a ton of fun. There's a couple of things like that were really struggle busting to like overcome as far as like environment, because I really wanted to, like, I got a PC, I'm using Visual Studio instead of VS Code. Like I have some friends coming on the show after this one that we'll raid, and they were asking me, they're like, why are you using Visual Studio? And I was like, I'm all in. You don't understand. Like, why the frick not? So
this is it.
Yeah. So you know, I've loved it, and I've found it really challenging and fun, but I think any learning and development does that for me, where it's just this big adventure. So I'm having a blast. And currently, you know, I started off the deep end, and I had some people, I think you were one of them, that told me that maybe I should like scale it back and try to learn C# basics first. And so I started building a C# console app, and that actually, that's the app that I've been able to build the most on by myself, because I did like a WPF app, I did a Blazor app, I did a WinUI app, which didn't go very well. So I've dabbled in different spaces, but yeah, I think
you've done more than I have.
Yeah, what I mean, I thought you knew like basically everything there is to know about .NET.
No. So Loose live taught me live on stage Xamarin. I had never done Xamarin before that, and we did a talk at NDC London 2020 where I got up on stage with Luce, and she taught me Xamarin Forms live on stage, and it was completely authentic. I had not done it before. I had not looked at it, and we built an app that I built an Azure Functions backend that we used as an API to upload photos that we took on the camera, selfies, and it would put glittery sparkle stuff all over it. So we did that live on stage. So I've done a little bit of Xamarin Forms. We all know that I have had escapades with F# that haven't gone very well. I have done...
I mean, we're about to fix that though, right?
Oh, like yeah, we're going to do that on Thursday. I've been telling everyone. Yes.
We are going to fix the
F# queens.
With diving in.
Yeah. We're going to be...
What else have you done? Because you've done Xamarin, you've done some F#.
I've done... I did WinForms when I first started learning C# in depth.
Was that so fun? That's like one of the things that like sticks in my craw. And it's not maybe a term. It's a good term. Like whenever I hear it, I'm like, I want to try that. But like I think everybody keeps saying that WinForms is old and
it's established. I judged a hackathon earlier on this year. And it was at Easter, so they all had to do like an Easter hunt app. And they could use any technology they wanted. And one of the best apps I thought was WinForms app. And they had a big picture and you had to click on different squares and it would flip over. And it was so much fun. And they built it in like an hour with WinForms. Yeah. And I think that's powerful.
Did you see what Luce said about WinForms?
Let me just see.
WinForms was drag and drop. It was great. I made a photo album program. So
there we go. I've got it now. I'm
going to pop it up on the
screen.
hard part because it's hard to be like, okay, that one was drag and drop. That one had it like a GUID. That one didn't. Like, I don't know. It's all very like. So you don't like with your WinFormsing write it by hand. You do the drag and drop wizard business.
I can't really remember because it must be 8 years since I looked at WinForms.
Well, if you wanted to do a desktop app, what would you open today?
WinForms. I would do that because that's what I know. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's, I guess, if Ed was here, he'd be screaming at you and I right now going like Blazor hybrid like, or whatever.
I know. Well, so do you know Blazor? Because I think you've done Blazor bits.
I've done a lot of Blazor, so I'm comfortable with Blazor. Although when I did Blazor a few weeks ago, because I hadn't done it for several weeks, I forgot how to do everything. And like, I was just chatting with chat, and I'm like, I don't even know how to do like a button and attach an event to a button. And we're like, but you know, we managed.
I think you're brave to go into the mobile side of things because I think that's like desktop sounds really exciting to me. This console app is so much fun. Blazor, that was pretty easy. And I think like, especially if you're going from a JavaScript mindset, it's really easy to adopt Blazor.
Yes.
But mobile, I don't know. That's the thing that I'm like, oh God. I think it's because I've watched my husband do iOS development for so many years.
Yeah, I did do a tiny bit of iOS like in 2009 and I gave up. So Luce has been desperate for someone to teach her Blazor. Okay, so what I think we should do is we'll teach Luce Blazor and Luce can teach us Xamarin Forms and mobile app development.
I love this. I love it. I hope she's fine with us signing her up for episodes live.
Yeah, that's it. So payment says, oh, go for it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm making a Luce Learns Blazor sticky note. So it's like in stone, basically.
That's it. Sorry, Luce. Payment says, I have done many WinForms for industry and laboratory science. I really enjoy it. You see, so it's still really, you know, out there and in use. I think it's just a nice tool to use when I've done stuff with it. But yeah, but
like if I'm using WPF, that is like instead of WinForms, right? Like because it came on like later.
I think so. So there was WPF, which is Windows Presentation Foundation, and then UWP, Universal Windows Platform. So that was more for app development, and I think that's the one that people say do not touch with a barge pole.
It is. You know why that is? I don't remember. I put a big frowny face next to UWP. Because everyone is like, it's the last in the, you know, the chain of things that happened, but it's also the biggest frowny face. So
chat, what do you think? And we've got Aztec Consulting goes, what madness is this? What, Alyssa and I together, not on CodeItLive, not on Layla Codes It, but here on the VMware Tanzu channel.
What madness?
What madness? So you're working currently on a console app. I've come on and done some stuff on a console app with you. Completely confused you probably, and talked gobbledygook. I enjoyed it.
I had so much fun, and I think this is something that's like amazing about Layla, chat, is that she meets you where you're at. I've had a lot of teachers who I am like in the middle of like working something out, and they look at it and they go, no, and then they just kind of take away my code, and then they'll be like, we're doing this today. And Layla like will come down in the murk with you and be like, let me fix this, and helps you like, that's what my brain needs. Like I have to fix whatever path I'm on before I can learn the better way. And so I think that's what I've had like so much fun learning with you, and I'd love to like pull it up and we can, you know, maybe learn a little bit. I've got a couple of questions.
We can totally do that.
One is more, I think, PC environment related. Layla, do you use PC only, or do you use a Mac?
I use both. I have a Mac and I have a PC. So I'm quite happy switching between them. I use Rider for development. If you're going to
go make a desktop app, though, you're not going to get your Mac out.
No. And I had to do a Visual Studio extension last week, and then again you have to be on a Mac then, because a lot of those are built on on a Windows machine rather, because a lot of those are built on Framework, which is only on Windows. So there's a lot of things where you are sort of platform dependent still. So Fuel Snable says UWP they felt was too hard to develop in for a few reasons. One was that it needed to have special setup to I can't speak today. Setup to run and debug as an app. Well, that seems a bit prohibitive, doesn't it? Like a special setup. So I'm not sure. I'm going to turn off our names. You all know who we are now, okay? I'll switch them on in a bit, because it's half like on Alyssa's chin. It's like, this is Alyssa. This is Alyssa.
I can also move the camera a bit. Do you need more air above the head?
You can have more air above your head if you want. More airhead. I think I'm enough of an airhead for us both, though.
No. Oh my goodness. Wait, what was he saying? Let's see.
Objective-C stream view. Oh, where are you reading?
Well, so right above that, Nick said, do you prefer going on Xamarin? But I don't know if that was in relation to... I think
that's... because Fuel Snable didn't like UWP. So then we're talking about Fuel Snable. Oh my God, I am talking rubbish today. I'm sorry about that right now. So Luce is saying that she's sure we can build something fun with Xamarin and plan it based on ideas you have, so your brain is interested, but it's not something too overwhelming. Well, that sounds like a good plan, doesn't it? We're not doing Objective-C. I did Objective-C a long time ago. No.
Was it no fun?
Well, when I did it, iOS development, I did this in 2009. So iOS development was really new, like 2009, 2010, like pre-iPhone. It was when you had the iPod. And it was MVVM model, so it was a lot of dragging and dropping as well. It was probably really similar to WinForms, to be honest, and all the code behind and things like that. But yeah, we're not, no. I thought Swift was the way with Apple programming now anyway, iOS stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part that gets sticky, because I'm like, it gets so confusing for me, because there's, I guess with, what was it? It's Blazor Hybrid now, and then they have, what was the API called? That essentially it's like you can get your Swift bits, you can get your Android bits. It's
Maui. That bit.
Maui, yeah, it's like a Maui Essentials or something, right?
That's been delayed until next springtime, I think Ed was telling us. So that's on hold for quite a while. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked into it because I do too much bleeding edge stuff that I don't really want to do more bleeding edge. I just want to, you know, sit, chill, and not go crazy on all the newness and bleed, because I've bled enough with Blazor and all this other stuff.
I feel you on that. And coming into it, it's been fun learning, like, oh, like this isn't out yet, because like that was something I tried to actually use something, and Ed finally came into chat because chat couldn't help me. They were like, I don't know why it's not working for you, and Ed was like, it's not released yet, and I was like,
oh, no.
So I'm sharing my screen with you, and I have a question before I open this console app.
Okay, I have to come and open it. Hang on.
Occam's Blazor president said. I have Blazor fatigue, said Fuel.
Yeah, I think I have fatigue with a lot of things, and to be honest, it's just like I can't take it all in. So I'm working on my back-end stuff at the moment, like my distributed services, really enjoying all of that, and Blazor's kind of just bobbing along. I'm not doing anything new with Blazor. Right, Alyssa, I'm looking at your screen. I haven't shared your screen yet. Did you want to show me something in secret?
No, you can.
Or do you want to? All right. Okay. Let's make sure that this could be my desktop. I forgot to check. Let me go and check. I don't even know whose desktop this is. Let me just make sure that I've got your desktop.
Irebox said that I'm a React guy, and Blazor seems to be cool. Yeah, I honestly didn't have like when I went through 3 different tutorials, and like on 3 different streams, and Blazor was the one that I got through the most in the same amount of time. Like it was easier for me to be like, oh yeah, and make that and connect that and do that, and it was just, it seemed to, but I really think that's just because coming from a JavaScript world, like it maps easy.
Yeah.
I don't think it speaks to, you know, the other things are bad or anything. It's just harder for me to grasp.
It's very familiar, isn't it? Because Razor is just a templating language, a bit like JSX or TSX or something like that. So I think that makes it easy.
Popsy, that is so cool. Did you see what Popsy said?
Yes, I'm going to pop it up on stream.
DevRel, and it's WinForms. That is awesome. Congrats on your first DevRel. And I hope you love it. I hope WinForms is magical and awesome. I haven't done very much of it. I've only like poked it with a stick. So I hope it's awesome for you.
Well, I think we should have some falling things, if I can get it to work. Yay! Celebratory falling things for you. The crane, which we need to have a naming competition for my little crane.
Hang on. I'm going to double screen and screen you real quick just so I can... Oh, okay. I wanted to see the crane.
Oh, the crane is right beside your note, like covering your mic.
Oh, hi. He's
there
cute.
You go. And then we have cranes and ferns, and I think the ferns look like sea monsters. There you go. You see more bouncing cranes. So yes, that's it. Nick, does it cut the sound? Okay, I didn't know that it cut the sound. What I'm going to do, folks, is just turn off the stinger, because I didn't realize it was cutting the sound, because I can still see the sound moving. I've turned that off, folks. Okay? Apologies for that. Thank you. We're still learning on this, so we've got that all switched off now, so it should do a proper hard cut. And because I didn't realize the stinger was making us quiet. Whoopsies.
King of COD asked, and I don't know if it was for me or for you, did you learn coding in the traditional way or the untraditional? So I think we should both answer. All right.
So I'm guessing an untraditional way is that I don't have a degree. I did go to university, but I had to drop out. And I did.
Yeah, Fuel was asking, what is traditional? That's very
yeah.
Objective.
I'm guessing that's like professionally taught with a degree. So the degree I did and dropped out of was mathematics, and then I lost my finance, so I had to drop out. And then I guess I'm self-taught, but I'm also taught by lots of people. So Silicon Orchid taught me, spent a lot of time. There's been my first job. My boss would sit down and pair program with me. All the people who I've worked with all these years have all taught me stuff. So I'm saying I'm self-taught, but there's been a whole village to get me where I am now. So if that's the way I learn. I don't know if that would be, I'm guessing that's considered untraditional. What about you, Alyssa?
Yeah, so I went to school for psychology. I got my BA in it, and then I was in the mountains in a cabin with my new husband. I've known him since high school, but we're newlyweds. And he had just graduated from Full Sail with his web dev and design degree. And he was saying, what do you want to do with your life? Because he was working as a web dev. And I was like, I have absolutely no idea. And I had thought that I wanted to continue in psychology and go on to be a psychiatrist, but it was kind of depressing me, to be honest. So I started making web apps with him, and I fell in love. And I said, I'm more of a traditional learner in the fact of I need the accountability of structure to learn and to like hold myself to that. And so I said, okay, well, I want to go to your school. So we packed up and left Colorado, moved back to Florida, and I went to school for that. And I hadn't graduated yet. All of my classmates, Full Sail is an incredible arts and science school, and all of my classmates, it was a month before graduation, had already been hired, and I was the last one and hadn't been hired yet. And I was super stressed out because I was the last egg in the class. You know, I'm like sitting here like, why don't I have a job yet? And I went to it's called bar camp, and I don't know if they still do it in Florida, but it was essentially they would like rent out a bunch of bars on a Saturday morning, and they'd have a bunch of whiteboards, and if you wanted to do a talk, you just went up on the whiteboard and wrote your name in under one of the bar slots, and then you went to that bar and you gave your talk. And that was how I got into speaking, actually. So I signed up.
That's awesome.
I did a talk, and I got off the stage, and someone approached me and said, have you been hired yet? Because during my talk I talked about my experience at college, and I said I haven't been hired. And he told me to come into the office on Monday, and so I came in, and apparently that was my interview. He introduced me as the new content developer at Code School, and I started teaching and making content.
That's amazing.
It was incredible. And so that's how I got into web dev, but then also how I kind of found my way into advocacy as well, because developing isn't enough. You know, you got to stream and teach and do. So I don't know.
This is it. I really enjoy teaching. I've taught all my life. Like I taught people on horses, and I taught people how to move their bodies, and I guess maybe I'm just bossy. That's what Silicon Orchid would say. I just like telling people what to do. So I really enjoy teaching.
I told my aunt this. I don't think it counts as bossy if it's constructive, right? Like, is that true? Like, if it's actually,
we're going to go with it. Yes, it's completely true. Yeah, of course it's true.
Copper Beardy was saying that I'm the same. I find it easier learning when I know there's a hard deadline. Otherwise, it all gets put to the next week list. I'm exactly like that. And I know there's so many people, you know, I started a college fund for my 2-year-old, and my father-in-law, he was getting on to me because he was like, what if he doesn't want to go to college? And I was like, I guess, like, to me, it's not how I learn, and so I can't imagine my spawn not learning that way. Like but I know there's so many people that are self-taught and that can do that. I'm just not I'm not blessed like that.
I can be really disciplined and learn, but sometimes I like learning from books, and that's my discipline, because I go through and do things through that. I'm not very good at learning from videos. I have to see things and touch them. I can't buy digital copies of textbooks. I have to have physical copies so I can write in them and put sticky notes. It's the act of like touching and scribbling and doing stuff which helps me learn.
I found that too, but I've also kind of found a way to move, as I say this, to more digital. As I say this, my desk is literally covered in probably over 100 sticky notes. So I'm right there with you with like the tangible, but I found, and I wish I would have had more access to, and I think I saw a tweet about this yesterday, about how high school students aren't carrying books around anymore. They're carrying laptops. And someone had replied to that, and they were like talking about how they really wish in high school they had found, because now they buy books on like ebook and they have the computer read it to them. And like for me, audio learning, it has helped me so much. It's like how I get through content now. And so like I have like hundreds of books on Audible, and I can like listen to a book like that, but it's like the act of like physically reading. So just like learning how, I think that's something I wish I would have learned earlier. It's just how I learn better. Like
this is really interesting. I think how people, one of the things I was taught when I was becoming a Pilates teacher and then later a teacher of Pilates teachers, was how to address the different ways that people learn and comprehend. So you can tell someone like, okay, hold up your arm and now only bend your elbow, and they'll do like this. They'll move their shoulder. Whereas
can we stop screen sharing so I can see your face real quick? I want to see what you're saying. So
where
hold up your arm and do what? What? I gotta see your face.
Okay. Yep. Wait, I don't know. You should be able to see my face.
Well, I didn't want it to be screen when I was screen sharing, so I hid you. Okay, I can see your face now.
You can see my face. Okay. So if you ask someone, okay, to straighten their arm, they might do this. Okay. Yeah, you see now, how many joints did you use to straighten your arm? You used your shoulder, you used your wrist, you used your elbow. If I want someone to straighten the arm, just move your elbow. It's this. And it's really hard to explain that to some people. And so some people will understand it that way. Some people you need to put a hand and say, okay, I just want you to put your hand here, and I want you not to move where your hand is. I just want you to let your elbow drop, and that's one way of doing it. Or you tell them another way. So it's how different people take information in and understand it. I would not be able to learn from Audible stuff like you. I can't even listen to audiobooks. I can't. I have to have the eye contact stimulus thing. I'm really all about visual.
I saw a TikTok about this, and it was this guy in the airport, and he had his physical book, and he was making fun. He was like, look at me, I'm so hipster, I've got my real book, you know? And it was like, that's the thing. Like, if I'm ever holding like a real book, I'm like, oh, I feel so like I'm in Ye Olde Tavern or something, you know? Like,
I have a Kindle with over 850 books on my Kindle. So I have no problem.
That's fascinating to me. I think it's also maybe a bit of the dyslexia. Like my friends, I've been unofficially diagnosed because like they'll be like, yeah, you just totally did all of this. And so I think that's another part of it. It's just my brain, like when I hear that. So if you haven't switched up your learning style, highly recommend like trying out an audiobook, or, you know, trying maybe picking up a physical one if you've only, you know, I don't know. It's fun. So a question with PC, and maybe you'll know this, maybe you won't.
Okay, let's go.
Do you know what the crap source is about? Like why? So let me show you what I'm talking about. This.
Wait, I have to change screen. Hang on. You want to show me on the thing? Where am I going?
I'm going to do this new tab so that we're not worried about that. And then we go over here, and then we pull up that chat so I can see that chat. So when I'm creating new apps, whether it's like WPF or console apps or Blazor or whatever, I have this, I just made a repos folder in my folder. But sometimes, I don't know if it's Visual Studio suggesting it or if it's my PC, but sometimes it tries to put it in source repos. Okay. And I don't know why it does this. I just went and I opened up my folder finder business, and there's like, here's Alyssa Nicoll, here's source, here's repos. It's empty because things keep getting created here, and I keep moving them back to my repos folder. So like, should I stop fighting this?
I personally would stop fighting it. All of my repos are in source.
Oh no!
That's just like a convention for, like, you know, Visual Studio has done it that way for years, but Nick says you can change it. I was about to say you can change it.
Okay, but I shouldn't. So should I just drag all of these and put it in the other repo?
You can
never stop fighting this system. I love it. Well, okay, see, and that's the thing. I don't know if I was like, is this a convention that I'm just like
It's not
ignoring?
a convention like using Pascal case over camel case. No one's gonna like have a go at you. Like, oh my God, I literally had some code on the screen last week and someone went, Layla, what is this? You're using camel case? This is C#. They, you know, it was like Thindle or somebody. And I'm like, cut me some slack. I copied and pasted this code. It's not my original code.
That is funny.
Let's see if we can fix this. All right then, gang, let's go. I'm opening up.
Okay, so if we want to stick with source, I don't mind the system. But here's what it baffles me, because if let's say this was a Mac and these were my repos on a Mac.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be able to zoom these. Can't I make these fatter?
Yeah, you can control and mouse wheel.
So I was doing that. Oh, it's just weird because it changes formats. Isn't that bizarre?
Oh, yeah. It really annoys me that it does that. I'm going to have a look now.
Okay, so if I drag and drop these, like...
Drug them? Yeah, that would be great. Drug them.
Apps, yeah. Just inject them with all the drugs. On my Mac, it would be fine. Like, there's no hidden wires that are going to be like, you cannot run
it'll be
this
fine
now. Is it going to mess up anything on Git? Is it going to mess anything up on Visual Studio? No. Like, is Visual Studio going to be like, everything is gone now? Like,
the only thing that will mess up on Visual Studio is if you bring up your Visual Studio now, all of those apps there won't be there. So they'll just be like, oh, this isn't here. Do you want me to delete it? That's all that will happen. So we can go and reset it. I'm going to bring up Visual Studio and see. Let's see.
That's legit. Nick's like, I moved all my repos to a secondary hard drive. Like, I don't even know how, like, if are you just like plug in a hard drive, or like you've got built-in hard drives and you're like, you will go to A and you will go to B. Like, that's way more intense than I feel like I could ever.
I have like all of my games on another repo, like on another disk. So I just plug extra disks into my motherboard. That's how I do it. But
because you need more space?
Yeah, who doesn't need more space?
What do you have on your computer? That's so hefty.
Games are big.
My cousin, he walks in and he sees my PC, and she's gorgeous, right? She's beefy and colorful. There's rainbows going everywhere. And he goes, what games do you have on there? And I said, not a one.
Oh my God.
So I've been building Blazor apps.
On this epic computer.
Yeah, let me show you all. You're going to look at this. Like, this is her.
Oh, she's beautiful. I love her already.
Beautiful. And I'm quite sure she could handle any game I wanted. Well, because I would do VR with her. I'm going to double check my cam. But I don't know. I have an Xbox for that sort of thing. I really haven't gotten into PC games. So
we have an Xbox and it has been unplugged for like 2 years. Look, other people can see me. Hello up there. Hello down here. Now they're seeing me in 2 views.
I'm sorry. I removed you. Now, I moved it. I fixed it. Okay. So you're saying you want me to drag and drop and then we're going to correct the paths, or you wanted to do something else?
I need to figure out how to do this. I just saw Fuel and Snable says that they learned from me that you can use a game. You have to use a gaming rig to use VS Code. Well, Fuel Snable was saying that their VS Code was really like hungry for resources. And I said, I've never had that problem because I've got a kick-ass like gaming rig. So that's not quite true, Fuel Snable. Okay, so set Visual Studio. Let's go. We're going to fix it for you. If you want it in repos and not source, Alyssa, that's where you shall have it. Visual Studio, set where...
I don't want to upset the PC, okay? Because I have upset her before.
You'll be fine.
And she's not very forgiving.
All right. So you are going to type in this. So just go to continue without code. It's on the bottom right. That's it. Yeah. And we're going to, in the search, you're going to type global settings.
Can I ignore it?
Yes. Update on close. That's fine. So now there should be a search bar at the top. And then you're going to type in global settings. Global settings. That's it. Apparently, you can type. And now you can browse. Yes, that's it. So you've got it set.
So you're saying it shouldn't be happening anymore?
Yes. Oh, what have you done to your sound? You've gone all robotized. Oh my God.
No, I'm not.
Oh no, there you're fine. You're fine now.
Oh,
you're fine.
I'm not a robot.
Oh, that's for Git. There's another option. Okay. There's another option. Where's the other option? Bottom person. Oh, here we go. Top person or bottom? Who are you talking about? What? I don't know.
Aha! I found project locations. How do I make this not Shunk-a-Pump? Look!
Oh, it's because you zoomed in. It's Visual Studio doesn't scale very well sometimes.
I am not zooming. How do I unzoom? I think it's because my font is too funka-funka-munka-lunka-munka.
So King of COD, I will sort out namey things. I haven't got namey things on this view. All right, so I'm looking through global settings and...
Can I ignore these other two? Because I changed project location to just repos.
Yeah.
But template location? Oh,
that you should leave that one. Don't touch that one.
And then user item template location, leave that one too?
Leave that one as well. So it should just be the top one.
And then I want to go back to the Git one that we had because this has a capital R.
So change it.
I don't.
That's fine.
Can I? Are we gonna? I don't. Does capital R exist somewhere? What the fuck?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it's so like a C# folder system.
Wait, should they be capitals? Oh no. Oops.
No. It's fine, Alyssa. We've come to accept that you're going to bring your JavaScriptiness into our .NET world. It's fine. It's fine.
No! Look, everything else is capitals. Whoops. Nobody told me. At least I capitalized.
I just did.
How do you get back to the view of opening bits? Open.
So yeah, just open. Oh, there's something flying around my room. Blocking HD says that if you have looked at how these menus are built, you'd see why they don't scale. So hopefully that will change in the future. So I have everything really big on my Visual Studio, and everything is like trying to find the little holes where I stick things. It just doesn't work.
Okay, I'm gonna console app architecture. Oh, do I have to? Maybe. Maybe you're happy with me.
Airbox. Windows is not case sensitive. It's just conventions, and like .NET developers like to capitalize everything. So now
look where we left it. Layla's hot beverage.
Have you not worked on this application since we worked on it a few weeks ago then?
No, I haven't. I love you. You know what I went through. You know I was like, sweet death of things going on in my life.
It's fine. Right, it's fine. I love you back, Alyssa. It's all fine.
It's pretty angry at us, though. We did not.
Yeah, what have you done?
Argument, cannot convert console. Oh. No, we have an iBeverage problem. Darn it.
Yeah. We were looking.
You taught me these things. I should be able to fix it.
We were doing stuff with our interfaces, and we were adding, implementing interfaces and taking them out just to show you how like inheritance and polymorphism works. That's what we did. We have a beverage problem, says Fuel Snable. Yes,
we do. We actually do. It is known. No,
there's too much coffee.
There was So I remember you taught me about. It's essentially like you're making a more grandiose type and you're giving it to somebody. But then you kept saying this word of polymorphism, and that never really clicked for me because you're like, and see, polymorphism. And I was like, what? Well, no.
That's my fault then. So no, it's a big fancy word for like a family. So let's say our interface or our abstract class is an animal, animal. And it can, if you have lots of implementations of that interface, so you've got a dog, you've got a cat, you've got a zebra, you've got a mongoose. They are all animals. They all implement the animal interface. So that is an example of polymorphism.
Hang on, let me Google this because I don't think that sounds just like inheritance. Like they're all inheriting from this base class. Like, how is that any difference from saying they have inherited from a base class?
It's not. It's just the act of that they all are They're all different implementations. It's just polymorphism. That's all. So they are inheriting from it. It's kind of like so, you know, it's different forms of it. So you've got a dog one, you've got a cat one. They're all, it's polymorphic. It's not just one implementation of it.
I just don't get why there's a word for that. It seems like this is the common thing, not an uncommon thing. Yeah. Like that's what it makes it feel like. It makes it feel like this is an abnormal thing that you're choosing to do with this. No. Okay.
It's just, okay. I wouldn't, it's the trait maybe. A better strong tight system has to have it know that they are all the same with some difference. Okay, so that's kind of it. So they all are very similar things. So if we take we've got it with our beverage. Let's have a look at our I beverage, and we'll have a look at the traits. So it has, this doesn't have any traits. This is a bad example. Let's think about an I animal. We have a number of legs, that's one trait. Tail length, that's another trait. Color, that's another trait. So they've all got all these different sub animals. These children have all got shared traits, but they can have additional ones. So that's kind of what Hang
on, I want to see if we can do this. So we have ooh, that's weird. How do I make a square? So we have, we're gonna say this is animal, and you said that he has like, is there a T? How do I make text? No, I do not know how to operate Paint. So he's like this maybe, I animal, and then he has things like color and like tail, but like just like Boolean, and then this
make that bigger, Alyssa. Can you make that all bigger?
How do I make it bigger?
Whoa!
Ooh. That's
it. That's good. Yeah. So it's got like
blurry.
No, it's not blurry now. It's fine.
Okay. So see how I've typed these things? Can I select them? Or are they gone forever because I've made them?
I don't know. I don't know what you're using. Is it Paint?
It's Paint.
I don't know. I haven't used Paint for like a donkey's age.
Okay. So I'm just going to retype them. I animal. And then, so you're saying that people are, super blur, not sure why. So if people are inheriting these things, or they're inheriting from I animal and color, and we said tail, can we have, go over here and grab you and make you and make you. And so then this is a lion, right? And so then it obviously can fit the color and it can fit the tail. But then what if we have like, I don't know, penguins probably count as having a tail, but let's say penguins don't have a tail. Can they inherit from this? Because
yes, like, yeah, because it's a bool.
I mean, well, because we made it a bool, but like, what if, like, does it have to possibly fit all of these things, or is there a way of saying you inherit from this, but you don't have all of
it's it's a little bit different in this case with an interface. So it's as President Notshaw says, it's not inheriting; you're implementing. Okay, a contract. Blocking HD just put that. So this is slightly different than a base class. So an interface can't be implemented. It can't be instantiated. You can't go new I animal. You cannot create that. Okay. So it's kind of like a contract, and it says that everything that implements I animal must have a color. It must have a tail. So you're saying everything that becomes an animal, that can be called an animal, because all of these things that you're creating are all I animal. They're all it's like sub-children of I animal. And so they've all got that. And so you can call them all I animals. You can add them all to a collection called I animal, of type I animal. You can add them all in there. And then they will all be treated as implementations or instances of I animal. It's sort of. They're not, but that's kind of what they are.
Well, so what's the word that you use? If it's not, like, you're not instantiating it, if you are giving lion...
Implementing it.
Are you implementing it or are you typing it iAnimal?
No, you're implementing the iAnimal interface. It's an implementation of it. So if you had an animal base class and that was an abstract, you would inherit from it. Okay, so if you
let me see, we've got beverage here. Let me pull up our VS Code or Visual Studio. Which one is it? This one. So we've got cold beverage here, and cold beverage, is this implementing iBeverage?
So we took it out just to demonstrate some stuff. So do you want to, shall we just do animal as we're on that one? Do you want to create a new class called iAnimal?
Yes. Should I make a new app or what do I do?
Let's just make a new console app. That might be easier so we don't interfere with this one. Code with Sean says interfaces are like a blueprint. It's not a house, but it defines what your house should look like. And let me pop that up. So that's kind of what it is. And there's some differences here as well. And why we like to use interfaces is a class can implement many different interfaces, but it can only inherit from one class. So that's one of the key differences from it as well. So let's go and get this up.
5 is current. For some reason I thought 6 was current.
6 is, you probably are in Visual Studio 2019, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it doesn't support 2020.
How bad is it going to be when I go to update? Like, will these apps run?
Oh yeah, they'll be fine. It'll be pretty straightforward. All right, so if you add a new class to this one, actually a new interface, so just go new and don't press enter like you normally do. Just go new.
Like, is there a button called new? What are we saying?
At the top, like add. Click. I'm losing the plot. Right click on, open up your Solution Explorer on the left. That one. Right click on the project and go add. And then new item. And then do you see there's interface down one from where you are? And then go and give it a name. Don't press that one.
All right, so we want to make an animal interface?
iAnimal.
iAnimal.
Yeah.
Because he's an interface. And then we're going to add him.
That's it. Don't encourage her. Feel stable saying press it. No. I'm trying to keep up with chat. Oh my god, chat's going nuts. Lennox.
Oh my god, are they saying helpful things? Are they helping?
I don't know. I haven't read it yet. I'm trying. Fuel Snables is talking about C++, so not helping. King of Cod is talking about TypeScript. Fuel Snables now talking about Java. Oh my god, brain blowing. We can only talk about .NET. We can't multitask like that. All the things. Blocking HD says, if you have a method make sound, each animal will have the method, but a different implementation. So if you have a list of iAnimal and iterate over it calling iAnimal.makeSound, yes, okay, that we'll do that. All right, so the first thing, there's no var on this. So this is a contract, all right? We're going to have a void make sound, capitalize. And then we've got a more real-world example of how an interface works is that you can have an interface that defines a data repository. One implementation may be saved to an actual database. Another implementation might have saved to an in-memory table. And then you're both sharing the same interface. It means that the code that calls it doesn't care how it works. So that's cool. All right, so you're going to make just open-close brackets, parentheses, and then a semicolon on the end here. And this is an interface thing. No curly braces, just a semicolon. There's no implementation here, okay? You're just saying it's going to have a method called this, okay? So we're going to say...
method. That's weird, right? Shouldn't these be like variables?
No, because this is an interface, all right? So the next one we're going to have is a, what should we have? A int number of legs. Code with Sean is saying this is called strategy design pattern, the ability to swap out implementations. All methods in interfaces are public, FYI. Yes, to be able to implement them. But you don't have to put those in. So thank you, President Not Sure. All right, let's have a string and color. And that will do for us. Okay, so we're underneath iAnimal. We're going to do an implementation of it, Alyssa.
What? You want me down here?
You can do it inside the namespace. Yeah, we're just going to put it in here. I'm trying to keep up with chat as well.
Oh, I see. You want me down here.
Yes. Okay,
so I'm going to say duck of type I animal.
No, you're close. You're close. Okay.
Hold it. I do this.
All right. Aha! You're very close, getting closer. So now at the beginning, you want to put public class duck. There's lots of good stuff coming into the chat. I'm trying to keep up, folks. Should not leg count and color be a property? Yes, Airbox probably. But yes, they shouldn't have methods after them. So take those out. Good spot. Oh, this. All right. So that first curly brace needs to be on the next. No, you had it right. Don't worry, we're going to sort it. All right, and put that first curly brace on the next line before like everyone has a meltdown.
Why?
Because that's JavaScript. Okay, and that's class's lowest case C. Okay, we've got that bit.
Capitalize everything. It's .NET. Remember?
Not everything. We only capitalize things that should be capitalized. Alyssa, get with the program. Honestly. Okay, so now if you I don't know what we are in. Oh God, Layla, formulate words. Just on int 12 and 13, we've got some problems with our gets and set. Stop typing. I can't cope, Alyssa. We have to go back and fix our interface. We broke our interface. Do you see we've got squiggles? So we need to say whether they can get or set. Okay, so you're going to put a space, a curly brace, and get semicolon, set, get semicolon, and that. There we go. And you can pop the same. You don't need the semicolon after that one. And then put the same thing on the next line. That's it. Okay, good. All right, now that's fixed. All right, is that good? Yes, OG, we're getting there. All right, I'm trying to watch chat, trying to watch what Alyssa's doing, trying to talk to Alyssa. Right, Alyssa, stop for a second. I want you to see where it says I animal, and you see it's got a red squiggly. All right, go put your cursor on that.
It's very grumpy about us not having.
Okay, so now control dot, and it's going to implement your interface for you. And this is the key thing. That's it. Click that implement interface. Done. Okay. So this is why you use interfaces. It means that every class that implements that interface has the same like pattern. You can add more stuff in here though.
Can you up here do like this? And then whenever you implement it, it will make it optional?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is the whole point about an interface is that it must have this. If you wanted another thing in Duck, you can add another thing, such as like foot color, because ducks you can get red colored feet, yellow colored feet, black feet. So you could put foot color. You can add additional things in it. But there's a key thing about that. Just put a get set. Now, what I would also say is on those ones where it's gone throw not implemented exception on your whatsets, just put those as get sets for ease. Okay, Nick is saying you can have new defaults. We're just going to skip that. I did show Alyssa how to rename last time, Silicon Orchid. I can only do so much at a time.
Well, that seems very difficult because you would kind of have to know up front, like it doesn't seem very flexible, like for as your app grows, because like, let's say, you know, back to our coffee shop example, and we've got cold beverage and we've got hot beverage, and like, let's say we change up like how our beverage system works. Well, then like maybe we got it wrong, because essentially when you're setting up this interface, you're saying, I know ahead of time all of the shared variables. Yeah. And like, it feels like you might mess that up, right? Like,
so often you wouldn't put properties in it. It would really just be methods a lot of the time. Okay. Okay. So I would say predominantly methods. I don't really put properties at all in my interface. But people do. I tend not to. I just put the methods in. So
can we make now a thing that we can inherit from so I can see the differences?
Absolutely. Okay.
Implementing an interface and inheriting from a parent class or something.
So let's just go one more thing before you do. I want you to make another class that implements iAnimal.
Okay.
Just really quickly. You could just
can I do like class tab?
Yeah. You'll need to put. You don't need public on the front. It's all in the same namespace. So you could just do, I don't know, donkey, fish. Fish is fine. You were fine with fish.
How do I like this and then that.
Yeah.
And then we go here and then we do that and then we do that and then we do this.
So now on your make sound, let's return. What sound does a donkey make? An eeyore. So return a string.
Like before this, or only do that?
Well, we're going to have to change our signature because I made it wrong. So just go hee-haw. Yeah, and we'll just have to fix it because you can see it's upset now. So if you go back up to our interface and change the return from void to string.
Can you say anything?
No. You'd have to write another interface that could do stuff. So now you have to go and update your iAnimal, your duck, to string.
What, can I command period it or no?
It's going to just add a new thing for you. So it's easier just to go down to line 21. You could use a dynamic blocking HD, but every time I suggest dynamic around Alyssa, I get yelled at by other people. It needs to be double quotes.
Oh, wait, let's try it. Let's try it real quick just to see if it works. No, it's still angry.
It's because you haven't updated line 21.
But I said dynamic. Right, so it should be able to take a void or string.
No,
right?
no, that's not how it works. 21 would have to be dynamic.
Oh, it's dynamic is a type? I thought dynamic meant any
no,
of the
dynamic
types.
is a type.
No way. So I have to, if we wanted that to work, this would, you're saying that? And then this too?
And I'm getting yelled at now about...
Wait, but it works. See, look. Wait, or is it not happy? You can't do this.
It's not happy. See, iAnimal's not happy. Everyone's telling me to make you stop. I'm trying to make her stop, everybody. Listen to the evil cackles. I can't control her.
No,
just make it string.
I just wanted to see. Why is it so grumpy? It's part of the language. It's called learning.
So you're going to return the sound.
Return.
Oh my god.
Back. Okay.
Okay. That's it.
And
now just go and fix that one. Has anyone invented internet pepper spray now? Oh my god, everyone's getting very cross.
We just wanted to see. We didn't even save while it was there. It was just, we just wanted to look at it with our eyeballs, okay? Goodness. Okay, so we have two
We've now got polymorphism.
Hang on. Oh god, you're saying that word again. You know that word stresses me out. Two animals.
Hello, CLW. We got Corey in the house. No. I use dynamic sometimes when I'm getting big JSON results back. It's the perfect thing to use. So there is a place for it.
Okay, now let's make... Can we make it in this same thing? Whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
This one. Okay. So I want to do like a... Do I do it in this namespace?
So you want to inherit from something, yeah? Okay, so let's have an abstract.
You want me to type the word abstract?
Yeah, but lowercase a. That's it. Let's go food.
Why can't all of this be in program? Why do we
It could be.
This?
It could have been. We just did it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be.
Abstract. What did you say?
What do we want to make it?
Well, because we want the animals to
All right,
could we do like
animal. Just call it animal base. We would do. We always put the base as a suffix because we're like
you do for parent classes
generally, if we use it at all, but we don't generally use it, only sometimes. So now you're going to open and close this. Okay. I don't know why that's upset. Why is it upset? Is it just like hover over animal base?
Anywhere? Do I have to say the word class?
Oh yes, sorry. Yes, you do. Abstract class, animal,
and then
animal base.
We're going to. Oh wait,
what do you want to give it?
Well, see, this is the part I'm confused about between the differences because I don't understand.
Oh, no, we're going to fix it. Let me help you, Alyssa. Okay, so let's go.
Because I don't know what you would give the class because I don't understand the difference between implementing and inheriting.
Okay, let's go in here and put a string make sound method. Okay, and in here, you're going to have to implement this now. So no semicolon on the end. Okay.
That's very confusing too. I don't know when we're supposed to be using semicolons.
It's only in the interfaces. Okay,
only interfaces. Okay.
This one
like if I do a line of code in here though, I'm not going to close it with a semicolon.
You will on that one. So it is a little bit confusing. On methods, you don't. When you're declaring something like a method, you don't put a semicolon on the end. When you're saying something, you're sort of defining something or assigning something, you put a semicolon on the end. So now I want you in here just to put return animal noise.
Like a string?
Yeah. And then a semicolon on the end. Oh, we've got Ed Charbonneau here as well. Hello, Ed. We steered away from dynamic. So Alyssa's face has gone all funny in like, I don't know, pixelated, but this is it. Okay, so now we're going to inherit from this class now, Alyssa. So go outside of this and let's go and make a horse or something, or a dog or an animal. You have dogs. I have dogs. We like dogs. So let's go public class dog, and now colon animal base.
Oh no, it's the same syntax?
Yes. Bracket alarm. I know, I'm trying not to go off on one with a bracket alarm, folks. It's fine.
That's no good, because then if you're like, and I want to do this, then you're all like confused and stuff.
Oh no, you know? It's a comma. You can implement animal base and animal. It's just a comma.
It's the same syntax. No. Okay,
it's fine.
I'm gonna survive this.
You will.
Okay, so that, and now you're angry. Do I want to do this?
It's a name violation. Dog should be capital D. That's all. Yes, Ed says uppercase D or people are going to lose their minds.
Huh.
Okay, so now what's that telling you to do?
I don't know. What did that... oh, wait, hang on. Let me go back to the error. It said inconsistent accessibility base class animal base is less accessible than...
That's just lose the public. It's because your abstract has defaulted to internal. That's all. It'll be fine. Okay, and that's it. Now you've got your dog class. Now the difference is that everything that inherits from animal base will inherit its implementations of the methods, unless you have an override, but we'll not go into that. So if you instantiated dog now, you could do dog.makeSound, but it's going to come back with an animal noise. You can't, at the moment, the way we have it, you can't specify that the noise is going to be a dog noise, a bark. Do you see? But when we implement an interface, we can individualize each implementation. Hit me with it. Come on, ask all your questions. Alyssa is going to need a hug. I'm sending virtual hugs loose.
So I've practiced overrides, and I talked long and hard with my husband about class inheritance.
Okay.
And I think it works the same way in JavaScript. but I'm really struggling with an interface and the point of it, because you can just get around without it. I don't really like, right? No. Like, couldn't you do the same type of things with?
No. No, because the beauty of this comes when you want to call things. Okay. If you have a collection of things, all right, that collection is of iAnimal. Okay, like someone said earlier, let's go to the program file. We've got like 10 minutes, Alyssa. We can knock this out the park. So in here, we're going to go and have a var.
Like inside of the main?
Yes, inside main. Var animals is equal to a new open angle brackets, sorry, not open them yet, list with a capital L, open angle brackets, and inside the angle brackets, you're going to put iAnimal. And then just open close parentheses before the semicolon, okay? So now we have a collection that will take anything that implements iAnimal. Okay, you just have to import generics. That's what it's moaning about. So control dot will bring in everything. Okay, and now if you go animals.add and then open close parentheses, and inside here you're going to go new duck, open close parentheses. And then on a new line, you're going to go animals.add new donkey. Okay, and then now on a new line, we're going to go, we're almost there. You're going to do the right line in a minute. So we're going to do a loop first. We're going to do for, open close parentheses. And in there, you're going to go var animal in animals. I'm trying to keep on top of chat, folks. Okay. Oh, no, close that bit. Yeah, that's it. Now you're going to put it outside that, outside the parentheses. You're going to put the curly braces. That's it. Put the console right line inside there. Oh, it's a for each. Sorry, Alyssa. You see where it's complaining? It's for each. No, why is it complaining? Why? What have I done wrong?
Oh, lowercase.
That's it. There we go. I was brain sometimes. In here, you're going to go animal.makeSound. All right. And now just run it. Let's see what happens. Quack and hee-ha. Okay, so it's gone through and called all of the animal sounds.
Okay, so we made a list, and the list we said has only iAnimals in it. And then we populated the list. I don't understand the new duck or donkey part.
So because it's an iAnimal list, we can add anything that fulfills iAnimal, because we know that anything that implements iAnimal is going to have a make sound method because the interface demands it. So what we've got is like Ed saying, Silicon Orchid said this as well, interfaces are handy when you need to swap out implementations, like when you're calling HTTP in an app, but you want to use a static service for unit testing and stuff like that. So if we wanted to create a list of animals, Alyssa, and we didn't have them implementing the interface, this wouldn't work. We would have to have a, we'd have to create a donkey, and then we'd have to go console.writeLine, donkey.makeSound, and then we'd have to create a duck, and we'd have to go console.writeLine, donkey.makeSound, and if we had 100 of those things in there, we'd have to call each individual class. We couldn't just instantiate them all. And there's clever ways that you can do that as well, automate it. We would have to go through each one and call the method to make sound. But because we have an interface, we can just do a loop that loops over the whole collection and calls the make sound, and they'll just do their each sound. And where that comes into play is like if you had notifications and you wanted to call all the different notifications, you might have an implementation of make notification that does a text message. You might have an implementation that sends an email. You might have an implementation that makes a telephone call. So you could call, could you make the notifications please? And it would go through each implementation and be, all right, I'm going to send an email, I'm going to send a text message, I'm going to do this, without having to call that code all on its own. So we've got President Not Sure is saying, I'm trying to bring it up, by using iAnimal in the list, we're saying, I don't care which specific animal is, I just need something that that does things that iAnimals do, which is make sound. So we go and get all of them and make sound. So you wouldn't be able to do this. You could create a list of animal, you know, our abstract class, and have all of the animals that inherit from animal. But if you went animal make sound, it's only ever going to do the one that's in the abstract class.
But you just would write overrides for each one, right? Like,
but you wouldn't be able to call them. Because
you wouldn't be able to call them?
It wouldn't know about them.
It wouldn't know about them. Hang on. So if I had an override in here for make sound. Wait, what?
You need to go on. We're going to run out of time, Alyssa.
No. We totally don't have to do this. So you're saying I wouldn't have the same access to it like I do in the interface.
No. So it gives you like a greater control. And we can look at some real world things on Thursday before we go into F-sharpdom. We could go and have a closer look at this. F-sharpdom.
Yes. No, absolutely.
So we can definitely do that, because I know chat has given so many awesome things. I'm really sorry that I didn't get to everybody's things. I really need a helper to do the featured chat for me and bring stuff up. So I'm going to rope someone on my team to do that next time. So the thing is, I've just lost you just stopped sharing, didn't you? Here we go.
Oh yeah, no, I was trying to see your face again. Hi.
Hi. How are you? So I can show you some examples of things where it's really useful. So it might help you understand why we want to do that, rather than sort of very contrived examples. Let's go and have a look. Silicon Orca says, it also means we have a collection of these things, even though they are slightly different, which is cool. Aztec Consulting, is there a public schedule somewhere for all of these? Yes, you can go and check out Tanzu.tv, and you'll see .NET in the Wilds down there. It's every Tuesday at the same time. Oh, but Alyssa, we could have carried on, but Alyssa's got to go and do her own stream in a minute. You've got guests as well, haven't you?
I do. I have a couple of people coming on, and we're actually going to keep hacking on this console app. So come on over. We're going to keep talking about C# basics with Mike Brocky and Justin Schwarzenberger. They're both Angularites, but they also apparently have a .NET background, like everyone does. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But I'll let you wrap this. I'm going to go and set that show up. But I'll be on CodeItLive if anybody wants to come hang out. And
we're going to come and raid you, Alyssa. I just want to say it has been so much fun having you on and delving into some beginner stuff with you. I mean, I don't think this is beginner stuff. I think this is quite, complex things. It's a very big interview question always. So I think this is quite a high level sort of mind-bending thing, so it's not beginner stuff.
I'm loving it. I'm loving getting into it, and sorry for being so nitpicky. I feel like I have to understand it.
You have to ask the questions you have to ask, and half of chat is going, oh, thank goodness Alyssa asked that. I so wanted that. Right, you go. I will, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Layla. You're awesome. Bye, chat.
As are you.
See you soon.